Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I primarily buy mystery boxes, online liquidation, secondhand, or customer returns. I have it shipped to me. A few months ago, I did a little experiment where I went thrifting. I tried to source my old way, if you will, just to kind of show why I order things directly shipped to me, even though it's mystery boxes, versus thrifting. And I wanted to give you an update on how the things I ordered from that experiment were selling. So if you want to see what sold from that thrift store experiment, definitely stick around. So back in July and August, and I'll link the original video down below if you want to go watch it. And actually, if you haven't watched it, I do recommend watching that one before this one. Basically, what I wanted to do was go thrifting, show my cost per item, and then take into account the time I actually spent searching for the items to show the hidden cost of thrifting. Because yes, it is nice to be able to handpick the items that you bring in, but also it takes time to search for those items, and there is a price that you pay for your time as well. So in that original video, I took into account not only the cost per item, but the amount of time I was spending actually searching for the items to kind of see how it panned out, and whether or not the profits look the same when you do look at the amount of time I was spending. It took me 5 different trips to the thrift store over the course of, I believe, 5 weeks to get the amount of items I would get in one mystery box. Usually I order 40-piece mystery boxes. So it took me 5 weeks and 5 trips to get 40 good solid items to list. My cost per piece was $4.25. I know that I did do some dollar day trips, so that averaged out the cost of the other items. But if you take into account the amount of time I actually spent in the thrift stores, and I only counted the time I spent in the stores and the time I spent driving to the stores if I went directly from home to the thrift stores, my actual physical time searching for the items. But that brought my actual cost per piece to $7.82, which is still pretty good. But again, I had to take into account, like, a lot of this was spent on Sunday mornings or Monday mornings, where I could have spent time with my family, or I could have been working on other things. So I didn't really account for like the opportunity cost, but I did account for the actual physical time. If I were to pay myself an hourly rate, what it would have cost me to go into these thrift stores. So anyway, I'm going to run down for you what sold, what hasn't sold, how much money I made overall. This is a 40-piece what sold video, so it might be a little bit longer. Grab a snack, grab your death pile, and let's talk some numbers here. Was it actually worth it for me to spend this time out thrifting versus having the stuff delivered right to me? So that's the real question here. And if you like content like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I love sharing my reseller life with you here on this channel, what's working for me, sometimes what doesn't work for me. Hopefully it helps you make some decisions with your own reseller business as well. Hit that like button if you could. That definitely helps out the channel. And as I go through this, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on this, especially once I get to the actual results. Let me know your thoughts on this. And if you're a thrifter or a mystery box buyer, let me know if this kind of goes along with or in line with what you normally experience on one versus the other. So let's get into it. There was one item that I ended up not being able to list. There was a pair of Lily Pulitzer shorts that I bought. They were a size 000. And upon like going to list them, I realized they had a stain on them, and it was a pretty significant stain. I didn't feel comfortable trying to sell them. So that one I ended up just, I think I redonated it. Maybe they went to ThredUp. I'm not real sure, but they did not make it live for sale, but everything else did. So I'll show you lowest sale price to highest sale price. Then I'll show you what hasn't sold. Then we'll go over some numbers. So the first sale, the lowest price sale, was actually a Kitizen sale. So RIP to Kitizen. I do miss that platform. I didn't make a ton of sales over there, but I made some. So that's kind of sad. But anyway, these sold in about 2 months on Kitizen for $10.50. They sold for more, but Kitizen everything was free shipping. So that was the amount that I actually made on them after the shipping. Again, everything $4.25. Actual cost $7.82 after accounting for my time. So these were the denim X4 high-rise jeggings from American Eagle. They were a size 4 regular. I was selling a pretty good amount of American Eagle jeans on Kitizen, so not surprising that they sold there. Not the best profit after everything was said and done, but I think those jeans, as were most of the American Eagle, actually most of the jeans in general on this whole entire countdown, I purchased on Dollar Day, which I love picking up denim on Dollar Day. Even if I sell them for 15, 20 bucks, it's still a decent profit. They're usually a pretty quick sale, and they help me bring down the cost of my thrift haul in general. So if you're counting the average price per item, not the best sale, but the fact that they were $1, not the most terrible sale. I don't like to do a ton of that. You know, that's really, really getting into volume sales. But on Dollar Day, if I see American Eagle jeans, I know they're coming with me because I know they're going to sell, not for a ton, but they're going to help me bring the cost down. So anyway, next up was another pair of American Eagle jeans. These were the highest rise mom jean in a size 00 short. These sold on Mercari for $12.75. Not mad about that. Again, I probably paid $1. Mercari at the time was not taking fees, so I got the full $12.75 out of those. Here's another Mercari sale, $15.75 for these Torrid bombshell skinny jeans. Not the best style. They were a size 14 regular. So for Torrid, not the best size, but they sold within 5 weeks on Mercari for $15.75. Again, I probably had $1 into those technically. So not the most terrible sale either. No fees. I took home the entire amount. Then there was the highest rise jegging from American Eagle. These took, wow, almost 3 months to sell. But they sold on eBay for $16.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. These were a size 6 long. I wouldn't recommend picking up any of the jeans I just listed. I would not pay more than $1 for. I want to just throw that out there. Again, I averaged out the cost per item when I actually accounted for this entire thrift haul. But any one of those styles I just mentioned, I wouldn't pay more than $1 for. That's why I'm sure I picked those up on Dollar Day. And again, I talked about it in the original haul too, but those are low risk, low reward pieces. Unless if they came in a mystery box, I would list them. I wouldn't pay more than $1 at a thrift store for any one of those styles. Then up next were these reindeer PJs. These were a size large. I think these were like an adult size large. Hannah Anderson is the brand. I look out for this brand a lot. It's normally a brand for kids, babies and kids, but these I think were like matching pajama type situation. These sold in September on Poshmark for $18. They sold in a bundle. So I am glad that those sold. Hannah Anderson is like a higher end kids brand. They have like organic cotton, I think is like the biggest one that they it's not cheap retail. So it tends to do pretty good resale wise. These took about 2 months to sell, which actually selling like before Labor Day was pretty surprising because they are clearly Christmas PJs. So that was pretty exciting. And they did sell in a bundle on Poshmark. So they may have been like more than $18, but when I sell a bundle, I like take the price of the bundle versus the price of the offer and I average that out. So, you know, the bundle may not have necessarily been all from this thrift haul, but that was the amount that I allocated for this for the entire bundle on that sale. Then I had a pair of Lolita skinny jeans from Lucky Brand. Again, I probably picked these up for $1. They were a size 14, so for Lucky Brand, that's a good size. Skinny jeans, not the greatest style, but I picked them up based on the size and the brand and the price. They did take about 2.5 months to sell, and they sold on Poshmark for $19. So not super exciting. You know, and I tried, remembering back to this, I tried to like only pick up things I knew would sell. I tried to be kind of picky because that was the whole point, right? That you can hand select what you pick up from thrift stores. And even still, this is the type of stuff that I was ending up with. So I can only imagine, and I don't really remember because it's been a little while, but I can only imagine the amount of stuff that I like didn't pick up. The stuff that I passed on because I was being picky. And a lot of this stuff is like, I only picked it up because it was $1 so I could have something, because I think I already had spent 5 weeks on this. Like, I didn't want to spend any more time at the thrift store because it was costing me a lot of time. And yeah, it took me 5 different trips, 5 different weeks of opportunity to actually get to the thrift store. So, gosh, if I was actually being like truly, truly picky, how long it would have probably taken me. Anyway, next up are the Stella Low Rise Barely Boot jeans. These are from the brand Express. And again, they were probably $1. This is an older style of Express jeans. I only picked them up for $1 because I know that there's still a market out there for the older styles of this brand, and especially in a size 12. I figured I could actually, you know, move these in the 90 days, which I did. They actually took a little over 90 days here, but these also sold on Poshmark for $19. There was the New England Patriots Ugly Sweater PJs. I could not pass these up. Being an NFL fan, I like playing fantasy football anyway, but you know, NFL stuff is not cheap, and a lot of times, especially with I guess any sport, but it was coming up on football season, so I felt like I really wanted to take advantage of this. With any sport, especially if you are a fan of a team that is not local to your area. So for example, like we cheer for the Detroit Lions in this house, but we live in Atlanta. And so you can't just go into a store and buy Detroit Lions merchandise. You have to order it online, and it's pricey. It's especially the licensed merchandise. It's pricey. And so I found these New England Patriots pajamas in my local thrift store here in Atlanta. They were in like new condition, and knowing that NFL season was coming up, these were pretty cheap. They were, I think, a men's size extra large. I don't remember if they were men or women, but they were basically brand new. They sold on Poshmark in the beginning of September, which was, you know, right in the beginning of football season. They sold in a bundle for $19.80 on Poshmark. So glad that those sold. Not surprised. New England is not the best team right now. I think they're having a little struggle, but I know there's still some fans out there that hopefully somebody got a good deal on some licensed NFL merchandise. Then up next were these navy blue slip-on sneakers from the brand Olakai. These were a boys size 4. Olakai is a really good brand to look out for shoes. These were kids, so I don't do them, you know, the best with kids shoes typically. I'm pretty selective of what I pick up. But this brand I felt was still worth picking up even in a youth size. And they took a little less than 90 days, about 2.5 months to sell, but they did sell for $20 on eBay. I know my local Goodwills, they blanket price kids shoes, usually for $2.99. So that would have been still a pretty solid pickup. And they took a little longer than expected, but they did still sell. So that was I'm happy to report that sale. Then there was the black and white swimsuit from the brand Miracle Suit. I get excited to find this brand because this brand of swimsuit does sell pretty quickly. But when I got this home and when I went to list it, I realized that the washwear on the tag made it so I didn't know what size it was. And so I listed it based on measurements, which I really hate doing. And 9 times out of 10, if I get something like this in a mystery box, I'm going to just like donate it. I find that it's really risky to list things without a size and based on measurements because number one, like I don't know that I would buy something that didn't have a size personally. And then number two, you do run the risk of people opening cases, especially on eBay. I allow returns for any reason. And so fit becomes a factor. But because I was doing this experiment and because of what brand it was, I figured I could discount. It wasn't going to get as much as I had initially hoped, but hopefully if I sold it off cheap and I put really good measurements that I would still make the sale on this. And I did. I listed this as a size 16. I have no idea if it was actually a size 16. But it did sell on Poshmark. It took a little over the 90 days and I got $20 plus I sent offers. So I had discounted shipping on that one. So not the greatest, a little disappointing to not have been able to sell this one for as much as I wanted to, but I am glad it's still sold. Then there were the Lennox Slim jeans by the brand Page. I actually didn't realize this at the time, but these were men's jeans. They were a size 30 and these took about 4 months to sell. I'm a little behind on my 90-day updates, but they did eventually sell on Poshmark for $21 by offer. Again, I probably paid $1 for these, which is the only reason I would have picked these up. Page doesn't really do super great for me, even though it retails really, really high. I wouldn't pay more than $1 for Page jeans unless they were a really super current style, brand new with tag. Like really, there's no way I'm picking up Page otherwise. These took a little longer to sell than I would have liked, but again, they were $1, so not going to complain. Then there was this tan and brown belted sweater. This probably also was $1. This is not a current style, but the brand Soft Surroundings, typically not super style dependent. A lot of people like this brand for what it is, and I can usually get away with selling older styles, not for a ton. But this sweater did it took about 4 months, and it sold in a bundle on Poshmark for $21.28. This was probably $1 too, or maybe it was half off on half off day. I didn't pay more than like $3 for this. There's no way I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been worth paying up for. But I figured I could still sell it for at least around that $20 range, which I was able to do. So then there was the curvy high-rise jegging in a size 18 short from American Eagle. These I may have picked up at half price. I don't remember. I didn't go back and watch the original video. I should have. American Eagle, anything above a size 14, I will pick up if it's in good condition and if it's at least half price. My Goodwills, they blanket price jeans, so they're $8.24 normally, which means they're $4 and 12 cents on half off day. If it's not above a 14, I won't pick it up at half off. I wait till it's $1. And these I picked up, so either for $4.12 or for $1. And they sold on Poshmark for $22 by offer. These took about 6 weeks to sell, but they sold quicker than all the other ones, or most of the other ones, it looks like. So, that still was pretty much as expected. Again, I wouldn't have picked these up if they weren't a size 18. Being jeggings, jeggings don't do the best these days, but I was still able to sell them for a decent amount. Then there were the Gray Studio Dance Pants from Lululemon. These are a size 6. I was excited to find these because I snuck these off of a new rack. I do remember that, but when I got them home, I realized that they had a hole in them. I decided to list them anyway, again, based on the experiment, and I knew I could still get a little bit for these, even though they weren't going to sell for as high as I wanted them to. And this is the risk that, unfortunately, you take when you're thrifting. I mean, I guess it's the risk in mystery boxes too, but sometimes you just find flaws you didn't see at the store. And I think especially toward the end there, I was like so desperate to get to 40 pieces that I feel like I might have picked up things that I didn't look over enough. So unfortunately, yeah, these had a hole in them, but they did sell within 2 weeks on Poshmark, $22 by offer. So I listed them for $25. My Posher VA automatically sends 10% off with discounted shipping. And so I did sell them quickly. They probably had a tag for $6.24, being that they were pants. So I wasn't like, it wasn't like I paid up for them. And I did still sell them quickly. So I guess that was the best outcome I could have possibly had on those. Next up, I'm pretty sure this was $1 or maybe it might have been half off, but I didn't pay more than a couple dollars for this either. This metallic leopard print sweater from Banana Republic. I don't pick up Banana Republic unless it's new with tag and unless it's like half off or $1, because it doesn't really resell very well for me. But I did like the style of this. I liked that it was new. And this one did take about 4 months to sell, but it sold in December. So I would say this is a Christmassy-ish, festive-ish type sweater. This one sold for $22 by offer. So I had it listed for $25, and my Posher VA sent that 10% off. So $22 on Poshmark. Yeah, it took a while, even being new with tag. I wouldn't have paid more than a couple dollars for this as well. Then there were the Spanx liquid leggings, the black liquid leggings. These were a size small. Yeah, these took a few months as well. This stuff did not move quickly at all. But they did sell on Poshmark for $23. I think someone sent me an offer. Either that or I had them higher and then I did closet clear out and someone bought them. But again, a lot of this stuff sat for a while. I didn't have a lot of quick sales on here. There's a couple, but not many. Then there were the artist flare jeans from American Eagle. And to this day, again, it's another style that I will pick up when it's $1. Because and I guess especially the older ones, because they don't make them the same way anymore, there's still a market for these. And so I think the artist flare jeans in particular, the bigger the size, the better, but I'll still pick them up in smaller sizes. These were probably $1. And so the first ones were a size 2, regular. And these sold within 3 weeks on eBay for $24.99, which was my full list price. That's exciting. And then the second pair I had were a size 12 short. These also sold for $24.99 on eBay. These sold within only 2 days. So this one was a quick sale. I feel like maybe I should have listed those a little higher, but that's another kind of unlikely quick profit. So keep that in the back of your mind. American Eagle artist flare jeans. Pick them up if they're cheap. If you're at the bins or whatever, I still do well with that style. They're not going to sell for a ton of money, but even in used condition, even if they're 10 plus years old, this particular style seems to sell quickly for me. So just keep that in mind for yourself. Here's another pair of Express jeans, the Stella low-rise bootcut jeans. These were size 12. I imagine there were another one earlier on the countdown. I imagine that they were owned by the same person, and I probably picked them up for $1. These were a $25 Poshmark sale, and these took about 8 weeks to sell, but they sold higher than the other ones, $25. So again, I probably only paid $1. Up next is the gray and white mock neck sweater from the brand Reese. I was really excited about this sweater. I'm not going to lie. I was excited about the brand. I was excited about the style. And this one sat for like 4.5 months and finally sold on Poshmark for $25 by offer. I listed it much higher. I kept having to lower the price. I relisted it, I'm sure. This one was kind of disappointing actually, because I probably paid, well, full price was probably only $6 or maybe $7 if it was in the sweater section. But definitely did not do as well as I had hoped, unfortunately. Then next up, there was the white oversized long sleeve top from the brand Spanx. I picked this up based on brand and style. This one sold on eBay for $30. It still took 8 weeks to sell. But that's not that one's pretty decent. We're getting into the more decent sales now. So finally, as we've been at this for 20 plus minutes, we're getting into the better sales, but still, not terrible. But Spanx isn't really known for their tops as much, especially like the oversized tops. They're known more for their shapewear or their like slimming jeans. So, I think that's as best as I could have asked for on that one. Then there was the red plaid blazer jacket. I did purchase this one with the holidays in mind. Talbots, I do find that certain pieces will do well. They'll either sell for really high or it won't sell at all. So I'm really, really picky when I pick up this brand. But I loved the style of this. I saw Christmas cards and holiday parties in my head when I found this. And sure enough, it did sell in November. So it took a few months, but it did sell on Poshmark. Somebody sent me a $30 offer, which I did accept. Then there were the black running shoes from the brand On Cloud. These were probably $5.99 at my thrift store. They weren't in the best condition, but I knew these would be a pretty quick sale. So these actually sold within a day on Poshmark for $30. Quick flip. Totally fine with it. I probably would have picked those up on any day because they sell very quickly on Clouds. As long as they're not as long as they don't have holes in them, I will typically pick those up. Then next up, one of the very few denim brands I will pick up at full price at $8.24. These were Judy Blue relaxed fit jeans. They were a size 12. These sold slower than I expected, but they did still sell on Poshmark for $31. $8 into 31 if we're talking how much they probably cost me. Judy Blue very rarely makes it to half off day because people pick them up. People pick up that brand. So I probably did pay the $8.24 for these. $8 into 31, not terrible. I wish they would have sold a little quicker. They still took 2 months. So nothing to write home about, but still a brand that I will consider picking up when I find it. Then there were these black lug sole loafers from the brand Clark's. These were in like new condition. They were a size 10. They still took 2.5 months to sell and they sold on Poshmark for $32. So not the most exciting, but still a decent sale. There was, we're down to the top 4. Ooh, finally. Okay, there were the Paisley slip-on sneakers from Vans. Comps did not look great on these. Honestly, I didn't look at comps when I picked these up. They were brand new at tag though, so I grabbed them. But they sold within 3 days on eBay for $33.99. So again, quick sale. That's what I'm aiming for. If I'm not getting a high sale, I want a quick sale. So that was as expected. Actually a nice surprise to sell them as quick as I did. Then there were the blue maternity leggings from the brand Blanky, Blanqi. This is a bolo. I like finding this brand. I typically will pick this up as long as it's in good condition because it is a sought after maternity brand. It's pricey, brand new. These were listed though about 5 weeks and they sold on Poshmark for $36. They weren't the most exciting item, but I was confident that those would give me a good return. So I did go ahead and pick those up really without question. And then next up, the Dojo flare jeans. I was excited to have found a pair of Dojos in this haul. That was super, super awesome. Dojos don't sell quite the way they used to, but they still sell. I will still pick up Dojos at $8.24. These actually had a stain on them too, but I still listed them. And they sold on Poshmark within 3 days for $40. They were only a size 26. And I think, if I remember correctly, maybe they had been altered on the inseam. They weren't like in the greatest condition. There's probably, Dojos would probably do better in better condition, bigger sizes, not altered, whatever. But I think they were still worth the pickup. Dojos I will still pick up, even if they have those little flaws that I can disclose because they are a quick sale. And yeah, this one, no different. Really quick sale, decent price for the condition they were in. So no complaints there. And then the highest selling item from this thrift haul, kind of surprising, not surprised that this sold, surprising that this was the highest selling item. This was the New England Patriots blue cardigan sweater. It was brand new with tag, women's size medium, and this one sold in September also for $44.99 on eBay, which was my full asking price. So that was right at the start of the NFL season. Not super surprising that the timing on that one. Like I said, I am surprised that that was the highest selling item from this thrift haul. But that's everything that sold. Let me run through for you. This video is super long already, but I'm going to run through for you really quickly what hasn't sold, what I still have left. And again, this was me like hand picking, cherry picking items only that I thought I was going to be able to sell within 90 days, or in this case, like 4 months. I do still have 11 items left from this haul. So let me show you what's still here. I've got this is disappointing for sure. Probably the most disappointing of anything. These are Rothy's. These are kids Rothy's. This is my first time, I think, finding kids Rothy's. And usually I'll pick up this brand in any size. And these were only $2.99 if I remember correctly, because that's the price of kids shoes. But they're still here. I think I have them listed for like 25 bucks. Clearly, kids Rothy's don't do as well as adult Rothy's, which I learned from this thrift haul. Super sad that those are still here. I have the gray blazer jacket from Torrid. This was a size 2. Torrid used to do pretty decent for me, and being that this was a blazer, I thought for sure that this would be a nice quick sale, but unfortunately not. Then I have a pair of mom jeans from American Eagle in a size 00 short. Not the best size. I do tend to do okay with the smaller sizes of American Eagle. Just for whatever reason, this pair is still here. I have a pair of Callahan shorts from Lily Pulitzer in a size 0. I'm finding that the Lily Pulitzer stuff in the smaller sizes just isn't worth picking up the way it used to be, unfortunately. This, I don't know why I picked it up. This is going to end up at Buy Sell Trade the next time I do like a Once Upon a Child trip. This was that Minnie Mouse jacket. I picked it up because it was new with tag. It was Disney, and it was probably like $3. But this has had absolutely no interest. So unfortunately, I probably should have left that at the store. Here's another Torrid piece. These are gray jogger pants. Again, I'm finding Torrid doesn't do as well as it used to. I probably should have been a little more selective with what I picked up in this brand. These I know for sure I only picked up because they were $1. I probably should have left them behind. They are frameless skinny jeans in black, size 25. These have had no interest. I'm sure I grabbed these because they were $1. I'm probably going to end up sending those to ThredUp and taking my chances. These are a little bit surprising because in my experience, I've had really good luck with this style. These are the Levi's 528 curvy cut boot cut jeans. Sort of along the lines of like the American Eagle Artist Flare jeans. They're older, but they don't make them like this anymore. So in the past, I have been able to sell these pretty quickly. I do better with the 524s and the 518s. So maybe the 528s just are not it anymore. But I probably paid $1 for these as well. So I don't feel bad that I picked them up. I am sad that they're still here, which means this is not a sought after style the way it used to be. So, then I have the Clover green lounge pants from Eddie Bauer. I guarantee you I picked these up because they're new with tag, size 2X or XXL, but they haven't had any interest. So not all new with tag is worth picking up, unfortunately. I had the Dre Slim Boyfriend jeans from Rag & Bone. Again, I probably picked these up because they were $1. But these have had no interest either. And then I have the mid-rise boyfriend jeans from Lane Bryant. These are a size 28, plus size 28. So I was hoping these would sell too. Probably only paid $1 for these as well, but they're still here. So, and none of this stuff that I still have has had a lot of interest. It's not like, oh, I get a lot of likes on it and just no one's bought it yet. it's very low demand on all this stuff. I'm going to probably give it a few more months, and then anything that's left will go to either ThredUp or buy, sell, trade, unfortunately. So that's what's left. This video is so super long. Let me go back over everything again. So my cost per piece, $4.25 if we're talking just cost. My cost per item, if I take into account me paying myself for my time, $7.82 per piece. That's only to find the stuff. That's me driving to the thrift store and physically spending time in the thrift store. That's what I counted for the hourly rate. I didn't count the time that it took me to like list everything, because I would do that regardless with whether it was thrifted or whether I actually had it shipped to me. So that was the big difference, was the cost of my time. It took me 5 weeks and 5 separate trips to different thrift stores to come up with the amount of items I get in one mystery box. So my total spend was $174.25, just physical spending on the items. Taking into account the cost of my time, which I think I said $30 per hour, it cost me $320.62. So not quite double the amount of what I actually spent on the items. My profit right now, after 4.5 months, $233.75. So I made my $320 back plus $233. Or if you want to say my $174 back plus $233. So my goal when I get a mystery box full of secondhand items is to triple my money if the cost of goods is low. The cost of goods on this stuff, by all accounts, was low. Absolutely. I was able to handpick everything I picked up. I got a lot of stuff for $1. I doubled my money if we're just talking like dollars spent. I did double my money and then a little bit. I did not double my money if we're talking time spent. I did not double my money. And again, not to mention, it took me 5 weeks just to come up with 40 handpicked items. 5 weeks, 5 trips to the thrift store. In 5 weeks, I process probably 10 mystery boxes of 40 items, 400 items. That's about right. So comparatively, I would say I did about the same as I do with a mystery box, profit-wise. Some mystery boxes do better, some do worse. So it's about right on track. However, it would be impossible for me to scale my business to what it is. In order for me to source 400 items per month, I would have to be in the thrift stores full time. And that's impossible for me. I have a baby, and that's not including the time it takes to list things. So that's not feasible for me. So I think the experiment did really prove my point of, thrifting's great, and it is really nice to be able to handpick your items. But there would be a serious cap on the amount of output I could produce with the hours and the amount of time I have in the day versus what I could actually find and pick up. So I'm still going to stick with my original answer that having items shipped directly to my door is the way to go. Even if I only list half of what comes in the box, even if the cost per piece is a little bit higher, the amount of money I'm saving in time spent is so much more valuable than that. And I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be able to scale my business to what it is if I wasn't having merchandise shipped to me, because I would not be able to source that on my own at that scale, based on this. Now, that being said, there are certain times of the year I like to thrift. For example, right now, January, it's a great time to thrift. A lot of people are donating stuff, or they have donated stuff by the end of December to get those tax write-offs and, just clear out while they're at home. Like maybe they have time off for the holidays. January, I really make it a point to get into the thrift stores because I tend to find better stuff with less effort. But to make that like what I rely on, it wouldn't be a good idea for me personally. So you'll have to let me know down below though what you think. Are you a thrifter? Are you a mystery box person? Are you order online liquidation? And is your experience the same? If you really think about it, like, is it worth your time to go thrifting versus ordering from, online sources? Let me know. And let me know if you think my results are in line with what I had predicted or what, when you watched the original video. And if you haven't, I have that link down below. Yeah, I'm interested to know your thoughts on this one. Make sure you subscribe if you like reseller content. I have, ironically, I probably will do at least one more thrift haul now that it's January. I'm going to try to show you what I'm picking up. I did one and I'll try to do another one. But otherwise, I love sharing my reseller life and what's working for me here on this channel. So I'd love to see you in a future video. Hit that like button if you could. That definitely helps out the channel as well. I do have my sources down below, the companies I order from most frequently. There's some coupon codes you can use. They are affiliate links. If you're interested in sourcing online from the places I order from, definitely check that out. And that's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Thank you.